Hi, I'm author Brittany Rivers Britt Lee, and I'm doing an official Behind the Indie Author episode. If you're new here, all of my paranormal, sci-fi, fantasy, and retelling romances can be found under Brittany Rivers. All of my contemporary and dark romance can be found under Britt Lee. For my unofficial episodes, I just give you updates on publishing and what I have going on. For official episodes, I talk about me as an author, my books, other indie authors, and as well as book topics in the book community. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about my author journey. So I was a very avid reader. I wasn't always, it started off, I was very dyslexic and I didn't really enjoy reading until about 5th grade when I had a teacher who just could take me under her wing and help me get past my dyslexia and get into books. So that was really big for me. And then eventually I started journaling a lot in my teens, writing song lyrics. I always had stories bouncing around in my head. I just really hadn't started to write them down like on a physical page, but they definitely were there. They definitely were something I turned to when I wasn't reading to kind of escape a lot of stuff that was going on in my life. Especially dealing with like mental illness as a teenager and having it undiagnosed and lots of stuff like that. So I definitely needed ways to escape, and books, whether it was reading or creating stories in my head, was just a way to do that. Eventually in my early 20s, I took the plunge and I decided to put all of the crazy stories and words in my head on an actual paper, and I wrote my first werewolf romance. Don't ask me where that book is now. It's somewhere on a USB drive floating around in storage, I think. That was just the start. That book was really just the start for me. I started writing several books after that. I also got really into screenplay writing and doing a lot of things like that. I didn't end up being published until 2016. I decided to publish my Shattered series, which was a novella and 3 books. I still have that. It is on a reading app right now and eventually will be re-released for wide consumption once more. So I was a really baby author at that point in time. I did not know what I was doing. I did not. I had no clue. I just was winging it, had to be honest. I did take a lot of advice from people I sought out, like people who were indie authors, people in the publishing. I sought people out to get like advice and things like that to help me figure out some stuff. But then major life stuff happened. I had to move and there was just crazy things happening, and it was just easier to take a step back from publishing. It was just kind of, don't want to say not the right time, but it was just, it needed to be paused. But even though I wasn't publishing, I was still writing in that entire time period. So I did come back in 21. So there was a good, several years where I was just kind of getting things together, getting settled in a new state, and taking time for me. I had my twins in that time, focused on them for the first couple of years of their life. And then in 2021, I took back and went back into publishing. I started with my Children of Empire series, and then I'm going to re-release that. I'll probably re-release that in 2027. I'm going to be re-releasing that as well as Shattered. So eventually I had to go back into publishing, and pretty much once I started publishing in 2021, I did not stop and haven't stopped and don't plan to stop. The pause in between was enough, and I am, full gears ahead now. So I have been publishing a lot since then. I have been doing probably about 4 to 5 books a year, give or take. I know in 24 it was like 4 books, 25 was 4 books or 5 books. I don't know. Either way, I'm putting out 4 to 5 books, and this year I'm putting out 7. So I'm definitely have not stopped publishing and don't plan to. I have tons of stuff planned for like at least the next 3 years. So that was how I just decided to take that plunge into publishing, and I haven't stopped, and I've been really enjoying it. There's definitely been bumps along the way in my author journey. I'm sure there will still be bumps along the way because that's just how life goes, but I have really enjoyed my author journey, it's also like writing is extremely therapeutic for me and has helped me process a lot of hard things in my life. So sharing my stories, sharing stories that I know people can connect with, that can help them, and kind of maybe make them feel not so alone. They are romance books, so there is happily ever afters, because everyone gets a happily ever after. So that is kind of my author journey, or the basic of the author journey. Obviously, I could go way more in depth, but I'm not going to because I don't want a super duper long video or keep you here forever. So that is my author journey. I enjoyed it. I am still on my author journey, and I will probably update, as I do more publishing and do more things in the industry. So that is for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next episode, and I will see you next time.